But here's the thing, does any of this actually matter? Because when I go away from here of an evening, and people ask me, those who are interested and concerned but not able to be here, and they say, you know, did the inspector get the message? Did the inspector get the point? And I have to say that in all the oral hearings that I have attended, it has not been my privilege ever before to be before an inspector in whom I had such confidence that whatever the point was, they had got it. I do accept that, and I know I can say that I know, yes, you've got the point. But there is a niggling doubt that you've got the point from the community perspective. And I'd just like to say a little something about that. Because the point of community objection it's not a point, it's not a thing that I can spell out and offer evidence about. You have to hear it for yourself, and I don't know if you have. But it was present in the evidence that individuals in the community gave you. When Audrey told you about her father going down every day to look at Bobby Beach and be near the sea, and when she told you about the lanes around about that she went down and picked the fruit with her neighbours and took her children, this is the place, Sean in the nettles, this is the place, Mary was driving by the dog. When you heard all that, and when everyone said, as people did say, in their evidence somewhere was some word about the significance to them of the place, that was where you were getting close to the point, because the word here is the word home place. Home place is really hardly even an English word at all, and it doesn't mean the same as home, and it's not quite the same as Heimat, it's not quite any of these things, but it has, in Ireland, a particular significance, because the home place is what the family makes. That is their achievement. That's what they make. It's where children learn who they are and where they are, and they orientate themselves from it. I mean, in a very particular and special way. Mesopotamian people live in the desert, they orientate themselves from the stars. That's the people who actually mapped it all. But here in Ireland, people map their life from the landscape. And that is there in the language, as you probably know. Every single field and hollow and hill and corner and tree and house and boreen and townland is named. It's named. And you can meet Irish people in London or New York or wherever you like. They orientate themselves from their landscape. And so that landscape, that place, is where all social values, the values that make our society anything at all, are actually grown and nourished and developed. And the parent's job is to actually make it a safe place. So when they decide that something is threatening it extensively, when they decide that, and when they can be said, yes, they have decided that on good evidence, not just because it's got fairies or something, but really, then you have to say, well, if they don't succeed, and if the threat is constructed, and if it is put ever before their eyes, then really that is a terrible sign of their failure to make the home place a safe place. That is gone. You can't compensate them for it. It was suggested in one of the court cases that if we weren't successful in one aspect of things, not this, but another aspect of this, which I won't mention, that there was a compensation route. But this is entirely to misunderstand the nature of their objection and the nature of the home place. There is no compensation for that at all. If it's lost, it's lost. So that's just a fact. It's another fact that we must take into account. And I would ask you then, if you would be kind enough to ask the court, what possible social purpose can be can be achieved by actually defeating a community who are defending their home place.
Hear, 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 hear.
Because that's the basis of your authority to sit there, and the basis of our state's authority to place you there, derives from an acknowledgement of this. In our Constitution, from the very earliest times, or the very earliest declaration of it, the home place and the family was invoked as the basis for our society. And that's what it was. And that's where the authority derives from. What message could you possibly have for children? The children you saw here, who you're bringing up as, you hope, social human beings, if before them is evidence of what the state, the power of the state, has and can do. It's not a good thing. So I leave you with that thought.